Hey, perfect spirit, the superhero within you. I'm Sam Shelley, the Miracle Man, and welcome to Superhero Sunday. Today we're going to be talking about healing the past. So this is going out to my Head Trash groups. I broadcast live on Facebook, the Head Trash Anonymous page, and the Head Trash Anonymous Facebook group. Some of the times, though, I'm just in the Facebook group, but I felt like sharing this out with everyone tonight because we're really going to be diving into healing the past, this little guided meditation later. So the other announcement is did announce the next circle this morning, and that's going to be on a Saturday morning as opposed to a Wednesday evening. I also just got notification too that another interview was released by me. I thought this was a kind of interesting title. So this is on Never a Straight Answer podcast. It's about spirits, ghosts, and head trash with special guest Sam Shelley, the Miracle Man. We talk crossing over spirits, positivity, and head trash. So check that out. Never a Straight Answer podcast. That's being released today. And I see some people are starting to join in now. So welcome. Say hello. Let me see who's here. Let's take a look. Okay. And the other announcement is, that I also started a TikTok. I know I do daily YouTube videos, so why not? I do a lot of videos. Let's do TikTok and see what happens there. So hi, Dally. Thanks for watching. I don't know who else is here, but we really want to talk about, healing the past. And that's what the circle is reminding us behind me, is that we are one and we're whole and complete despite what this mind is telling us, all these stories, all this drama, the anxiety, the stress, being completely identified with our thoughts, beliefs, and opinions. And that really brings the past into the present moment. And when we do drag the past into the present, it creates a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of health challenges when we live in the past. So it's always about being here in this moment. So that's what we're really talking about. To heal the past, you have to be here. Because if you're up in here, the stories, the anxiety, you're living in the past. And all of our power is right here, right now. And that's easy to forget. We're so addicted to the noise, we forget that all of our power is here. It's not in the story. It's not out there. It's within you. So I really don't have much to say today. I rather lead, through the meditation about healing the past. Because it's one thing to talk about it. You can get all this intellectual knowledge. You can watch a lot of videos, books. But until you actually have that experience, that's when really life changes and shifts. When we really have those experiences. And that's what I prefer too. Even in my circles, I try not to talk so much. I'd rather go around to the community, see what they want to bring into the circle. And a few weeks ago when we did the circle, it was really a few weeks, it was this week, when we did the circle, everybody threw in what they wanted, and it was about relationships, mostly dealing with old relationships. So when I was doing this process, just so I can explain it, when I'm in the process, I get this quiet and it just comes through me. And we were just talking about, all these grandmothers came forward, this grandmother energy, and it was really nice. Hey, Paula, good to see you. So welcome. So we're just going to talk for a few minutes, and we're really just going to dive into the meditation today. Just really feeling called to do the meditation. Then after the meditation, we'll check out that podcast and see how they edited that together. I don't really share a lot of my ghost stories, but this podcast is about a lot of ghost stories, a lot of crossing people over. And none of these gifts were part of my reality. I lived in the corporate world for 20 years. Then when I healed myself, all these spiritual gifts came online. So I have no idea what's happening in the circle. I just know to get quiet and just allow them to work through me. We all have these spiritual teams, whether you can see them or not, believe them or not, they're still here with you, supporting you, uplifting you, that we're here to be the uplifters in life. So just remember when we talk about this meditation today is, healing the past, because we're always dragging the past into the present. So I really don't feel like a whole lot to say today. Now, I think people that want to see this and will watch it on replay, they're really here for the juice. The juice isn't my words. It's not reading books. It's not watching videos. It's actually having that experience of perfect spirit, which is that superhero within all of us. We simply forget. We're so identified with our thoughts, our beliefs, that we forget that we have the superhero within us. So we'll do the meditation now, maybe 10, 15 minutes today. And that's all you may need for healing. We think healing has to be a really complicated process that is going to take months, years, hours a day of sitting in meditation. It's not that case at all. It could be a simple 10-minute meditation could free you from that past trauma, or it could be, a 45-minute meditation or an hour and 15. But that's the longest I go is an hour. But even my own personal practice is 20 minutes a day. We don't need to sit there for hours upon hours. And I began with 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. And within 2 weeks, I had the profound realization that I have thoughts, but I'm not my thoughts. So if we're not our thoughts, then who are we? Think about that. If we don't have all these thoughts, beliefs, opinions, stories, then who are you? You are that perfect spirit, that consciousness, that energy that never dies. We have all these different bodies, but one spirit, one great spirit, and we're all individual forms from that. All right, that's enough for now. Let's dive in. So we're just sitting here relaxing, nothing to do, nothing to accomplish. The divine love within me connects to the divine love within you. We are connected, we are one. So we're just sitting here relaxing. Nothing to achieve, nothing to accomplish. No way to hold your hands, to breathe, to sit. You can go lie down. You can just be comfortable. The ultimate key is just to be comfortable, to let go of all these stories on how we need to be. We're just simply relaxing, letting the last hour, the last day, the last week, the last month, the last year, just drop away. The last 5 years, the last 10 years, 15, 20. And we just keep relaxing. Just keep relaxing, no longer allowing that past to define us. That we don't need to make today the same as yesterday, or the same as last week, or the same as last year. We're always here for new experiences, to grow, to expand. And that mind filled with all these stories is creating a contraction, making you small, making you feel insignificant. That's all a big lie. We came to Earth with a great purpose, but we forget what that purpose is. Since we're so lost in our stories, our thoughts, we're letting them all wash away. No longer that past to define us. And we're not even concerned with the future right now. We're not future guessing, because that creates more anxiety. And we want to banish the anxiety, the stress, because that's the root of all ailments, is stress, anxiety, phobias, worries, fears. We simply want to allow them to wash away so we can fully be here in this moment with infinite possibilities and potentials. If the mind's creating stories that you cannot do this or that or this other thing, ignore that. Your skills might not be there right now to do that to satisfaction, if you will. But we can take just one simple step in that direction. What's the one simple step that you can take? Just be in this moment, then see what is that one simple step I can choose to change my destiny, to change my course. That destiny is not fixed. Your fate hasn't been determined. This moment is fluid. It's simply the mind trying to drag the past into this moment where we seem stuck, static. So we're just continue to release those thoughts, those beliefs, and really coming into this moment. For there is only this moment. No matter how much the mind tries to keep the past alive or try to invent a future, all we know for certain is right here, right now. And we're just being at peace until that wisdom arises on the next small step to take. That small step may scare you, for the mind does not like change, resist change. For the mind doesn't want to give up control. The mind likes dragging you around all over the place. Because the mind is comfortable with what's familiar. The unknown petrifies, scares the mind, puts it to a state of fear and panic. We have to ignore that and realize I'm here to live my life on my terms, not my life on my mind's terms. There's a difference there. Are you living according to your mental terms? Are you living according to your infinite, perfect spirit, where everything is possible? So just to see if you're in a mind, quick test. Go to the mind. How many choices do you have in this moment? Go to spirit. How many choices do you have in this moment? Mind is very limited. It can only go a few different directions. Spirit wants to do everything. Spirit is the experience junkie. Spirit wants to have all these different experiences. Because we're here to have experiences, to grow, to expand. So our natural state is to be an experience junkie, to go explore the world, to be curious, to dive into those unknown areas, to look under the covers, to be curious, to explore. But the mind locks us in. It's uncomfortable with the unknown. And it doesn't care if you're in pain, if you're in suffering. It likes the familiar. It likes the same. So we keep dragging the pain from day to day, the illness from day to day, because we believe all these stories that it's incurable. That's nonsense. Spirit is infinite, not constrained by any rules, restrictions, natural laws, or physics. It's simply the human experience that believes these rules, these physics, this way of being. We can let all this go. And this is how we heal, by letting it all go. And we don't focus on healing if that's our intent. We focus on being at peace in this moment, then seeing what the next step is. But we always focus on peace, for peace is the energy of transformation. It's not this forcing, it's not this pushing, it's not this demanding mind that it must be this way, that I should do this. All that needs to go. We're not operating from a place of forcing anything. By being at peace, we're stepping fully into our power, fully into our potential, where we can leap over tall buildings. We can soar to great heights. But the mind loves its limitations. We just want to erase all those limitations. So now we're feeling this energy coming down from the sky, from the heavens. And today it's a white and pink energy that's coming down, surrounding you in love, washing away all that does not serve you. So we got to let go of that which does not serve us. No matter how much the mind wants to cling to it, we need to let that go and say, this does not serve me. This illness does not serve me. This ailment, this person, this poverty, this job, this career, this relationship, this house, this car, this city I'm living in. We have to surrender all those things that do not make our hearts sing, do not allow us to be in a state of peace, of happiness, of joy. So ask yourself, what is stealing your joy, your happiness? What's the mental story? What's that story that's keeping you locked into that place that's stealing your happiness and joy? Yes, we understand these are big questions with no apparent answer. We just simply have to relax and just allow these answers to arise. Out of the stillness, wisdom arises. That's the place of power. So we let go of any sense of need to force our position, force the need to be right. And we just allow. We allow everyone to have their journey. We don't need to be right. We don't need to insist people do things a certain way. That's their journey. Just focus on yourself. What's best for you? What enlivens you? What puts you on harmony with your perfect spirit and your way forward? For your way is perfect for you. The way from the heart. Finding the way based on your heart, not the mind. Operating from spirit, inspiration. What inspires you? Inspires is in spirit. Inspiration is in spirit. Everything that resonates with you comes from spirit, but the mind tries to force its way into the world, demanding certain things. So the way to heal all wounds is through the heart, through the peace that is within us. So just continue to relax. Allow this divine energy to continue to wash over you. You can call this energy grace. Grace is always descending downward. Usually, though, the overactive, busy mind puts up the umbrella and says, "No, thank you. I'm going to figure this out on my own." Well, there's no need to figure it out on your own. That's very heavy mental activity. We simply need to relax and allow the answers to arise. Yes, the mind is useful for certain tasks, like taking care of this body, feeding ourselves, taking care of ourselves. But when it starts planning, figuring things out, then it's very unhelpful. It's creating blocks. It's keeping you stuck. It only has limited choices and possibilities. So continue to relax and allow this wisdom to rise up out of the stillness, out of the peace, is all this joy and contentment. Live there, be there. And it's a practice. But we don't judge, we don't condemn ourselves or criticize. We simply notice when we're in the story. We just simply come back to this moment. Where are your feet right now? Where are your hands? What are you sitting on? And just a simple awareness of where you're sitting, where your feet, where your hands are, brings you back into your power, back into this moment, where you're either in the mind or here. You can't be in both places. Of course, the mind has the ability to switch tasks very quickly, and it can fool you thinking you're here, but you're still trapped in this story. Are you still feeling a little stressed, a little anxious, a little heavy? An indication of the mind's activities. If you're feeling light, free, smiling, happy, then you're aligned with spirit. But just see if you're smiling in this moment. If you're not smiling, then what's the story that's stealing that happiness, that joy, our natural state of being? Anything that's very complex is a mental activity. Spirit operates in very small steps. Spirit will see that huge mountain in front of you and say, okay, what pebble can we move now? What's the other pebble we can now move? Okay, there's the next pebble. The Spirit will move that mountain pebble by pebble And the mind will pull out the bulldozer and try to force its way through the mountain. But that doesn't really solve anything, because the mountain's too big to take on at one time. But nothing is too big if you look at it and break it down pebble by pebble. And yes, the mind will grow impatient, saying this is too difficult, this is boring. Ignore that. The mind wants to stay in control. Face every challenge, every obstacle with a joy, with an ease, looking for that next pebble you can move. That's all we have to do, is move pebbles to heal the past, to move life forward. Simple, small steps. As we start to come back to this moment, back into the body, maybe taking a breath. Feels good. Maybe stretching, realizing, I'm alive, everything is possible. Then just bring yourself back here into this moment, this joy, this peace, this love that's always surrounding us. So we're just coming back here, taking our time, easing back. No rush, no hurry. I was going to pull 3 cards from the Shaman's deck for the group and see what the message of the day is. So let's see what the message of the day is. Then we'll take some questions, if there are any. Let's see what the message of the day is. Love it. The initiation, taking action from this deeper place. And when you take action from this deeper place, you're empowered. You're acting from spirit, inspiration. But then there's a little warning too from the cards. The journeyer is the mind trying to seek outside yourself for the answer. It's almost like the mind is saying, you don't have the power to do this. Who are you to do this? We need to separate ourselves from the journeyer and say, the answer is not out there. The answer is within me. So realize the energy is within you. And when you realize that the answer is within you, then we need to act on that information. Otherwise, the mind will come along, squashing that wisdom and sending you off in a different direction, a different path that doesn't serve you. So I'll just see if there's any questions here, anything I can answer for anyone. So I think I got a new light here. I think it looks pretty good. And a new background, now with the circles. Just here if there's any questions, any comments, anything that's coming up for you that you don't know how to move through. And that's why, that's what the soul message is for. When the mind gets too busy, we don't have that clarity. If you're confused, it's simply an indication too that you're too wrapped up in the mind. That spirit is very clear once the wisdom arises. You're welcome, Tammy. Thanks for joining me today. Good to see you. So this wisdom is within all of us. So she's saying, thank you for sharing your wisdom. But we have to realize the wisdom is within all of us, because we are the one perfect spirit in all these different forms. It's simply the mind creating confusion, doubts, making you forget who you truly are. We're so identified with the flesh, the body, we forget that we are spirit. So, okay, I'll just bring this up. It'll be easier just to bring it up. I'll just bring that up. So Dawi's asking, I'm feeling very peaceful and content right now. Just content to be where I am right now. No answer, just peace. Yep, that's perfect. So let me, but that's not the one. There's actually, okay, here's the one I want to bring up. What is the step to emotional freedom to experience relief and surge of well-being? The step is to start wherever you are and just be here. That's the step. We think we need all these processes, all this complexity, but the next step is always what's right here in front of me. What's that one small thing that I can do? And sometimes, if you know your mind's overthinking, too busy, it's just coming back into this moment. Where are my feet? What am I standing on? Where are my hands? What's the color of my shirt? Just these little things right now. And then we got this here. Let's take a look here from Paula. Just peace. Just peace is perfect, because peace is the energy of transformation. It's not demanding mind, it's the peace and allowing this wisdom to rise up. It's really that simple. And that's what I discovered in my journey, my healing journey. I never had a spiritual teacher. I was simply had a relaxation process, just to relax, to be here. So my process, for people that don't know, I had a 5-minute process, and that will be the next book, The 5-Minute Cure, whenever I have time to work on that. The 5 minutes was, okay, the mind's thinking, the mind's busy. Come back to my feet. Where are my feet? Okay, the mind's busy. Come back to my feet. But the first 2 weeks were really a challenge, though. I was like, stop thinking, stop thinking, stop thinking. Then I realized that was a thought chasing a thought. And that's not helpful. So then I realized within about 2 weeks into my 5-minute practice, I realized I was chasing thoughts. Then I realized, okay, I have thoughts, but I'm not my thoughts. So if I'm not my thoughts, then who am I? And that answer came in about 3 months later, after realizing I wasn't my thoughts. The answer was, if I wasn't my thoughts, who was I? The answer was perfect spirit. So I simply heard a voice or a strong thought say, perfect spirit. My intuitive voice, you could say, was speaking to me. I just heard perfect spirit, and I simply knew that all was well, that all sense of fear I had about my health was simply gone. I knew all my health challenges were over. It just simply took another 16, 17 months for the body to catch up to that wisdom. So that's all it is. We have to realize miracles happen now, but it takes the body a little time to catch up. Because this body, it's matter, it's very light, very heavy type of energy, and spirit is very light, very free. So it takes the body to catch up a little bit. Yeah, so we just have to change the way you think, or maybe not necessarily change the way you think, or maybe you don't attach to those thoughts, Tammy. That's what I would say. You're not really attaching to those thoughts anymore. You're not allowing them to define you, realizing that I am a limitless, unstoppable, perfect spirit. The only thing that's stopping me is this nonsense up here, and I don't need to believe that nonsense. So we always have a choice in this moment. Do I believe the mind or my heart? So between your mind and your heart, which one's going to lead you into a better course of action, a better direction? So hopefully you send the heart, because the heart, your soul, your spirit is always your lighthouse, always guiding you into the right path. It's simply the mind that's leading you astray. That's good. Everyone's feeling at peace. Peace is the goal. That's where you want to be. Now you just need to bring that into everyday life. Find the people that get you triggered and learn to be at peace with them. Yeah, coming from Paul, that's really good. So I like how you stress that our perfect spirit is not up there or out there. It's inside of me and part of me. I don't need to look elsewhere for answers or guidance. Exactly. And that's why I don't like to say our higher self. Higher self gets you looking outside yourself. I like to say your true self, your inner self. You want to go within. Higher just takes you out. You don't want to be out. You want to be within. And out there, if you will, is simply your guides, your tools, your aids. Like, I'm really here to point you back to yourself. Once you're in tune with who you are, you're free, you're unstoppable. So we're just being at peace here at this moment, not allowing the mind to attach to any stories. It's just, yeah. So this is a good comment from Dowie. So freeing yourself from this emotional baggage is crucial because dwelling on the past prevents us preventing participating in the present. Exactly. That's why I titled my first book, I Don't Dwell. That we constantly dwell in these past hurts, these past stories that don't serve us, and we're dragging the past into the present. And there's no reason to do that, but yet everyone does. It's our habit. We just get into this habit, this thought addiction that creates all these constrictions that don't support us. Okay. Oh, there it goes finally. Okay. Okay. So I think that's it for today. So I am doing my next healing circle on a Saturday morning, and they're for sale now. I did that this morning. I'm just doing them for $10. And it's also bring your friend for this circle because I want to really build the community. So for anyone that pays for admission, they'll get a coupon to bring their friend along for free. We got to share this joy. We got to share this peace. We got to ripple this out into the world. There's just so much fear, so much worry and upset, especially with all the media to go do this, go do this. Really trying to instill the element of fear into you. And it's not helpful. It's making people more sick, more worried. The body already has a natural ability to create too much stress. Why would we be adding to it? They want to keep our immunity system weak, it seems, it appears. To give all of our power to them, we want to keep the power with us. Yes, so good comments here from Dahlia. The only place we can experience love, happiness, fulfillment, and miracles is right here. And yes, I like the circle too. The circle's about wholeness, that we are one and we're whole and complete. Despite the opinions from the mind, we are complete because we have perfect spirit leading the way. Okay. All right. Well, take good care of yourself, and I'll be back next Sunday, and I'll be live on Monday night with soul messages. So take good care of yourself, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.